on mobile application. We present various programs for you. Diplomatic Forum, The Session, Indonesian Wonder, Miscellany, Let's Speak Bahasa Indonesia, Indonesian pop and regional songs, international musical entertainment, as well as news and information about Indonesia and abroad. Voice of Indonesia, from Indonesia to the world.
Samudra terbentang khatulistiwa, di situ ku ada bersamamu saudara. Beragam warna kita, suku tak selalu sama. Kau aku Indonesia yang disatukan karena cinta. Karena kita Indonesia, jangan pernah terpecah belah. Walau kita berbeda, walau kita tak sama, tetaplah satu kita, kita Indonesia sesungguhnya.
Indonesia.
Voice listener, the Indonesian National Army has been invited by President Macron to lead the Bastille Day parade in Paris, France. Not only that, the Indonesian National Army also inked several cooperation and joint exercise with other countries. To know more about this, let's have a special conversation with the head of Information and Communication of Indonesian Ministry, Baca Brigadier General Frega Wenas. How are you today, Pa? And good morning.
I'm good, thank you. How are you today?
I'm fine too. And congratulations for the marvelous performance of the Special Task Force of Tni at the Bastille Day, Pa Frega. I'm really proud to say that I'm proud as an Indonesian.
Thank you very much.
Without any further ado, let's begin the interview. And I would like to ask some of the questions here. Can you tell us about the Indonesian National Army at the Bastille Day?
Actually, it was the first experience that we were invited to take part in the Bastille Day commemoration. One of the big national day that the French government and the French people celebrate. And it was a very rare opportunity where we had the honor to be the guest of honor because of the invitation expressed by President Macron to President Prabowo. And then President Prabowo assigned the Minister of Defense as well as the TNI headquarters to prepare not only a contingent of troops, but also the drum band from the Armed Forces Academy. And I think it is an honor not only for the contingent itself, but also for the soldiers, the cadets, as well as for the Indonesia as a nation, because we can showcase not only our military cultures, but also traditional culture that we brought there, and it has impressed not only the French people there, but also we know that Paris is one of the big city where tourists are visiting. So many people from European countries and also the guests that attended the celebration also could have the opportunity to observe and also watch the performance of our troops contingent, the drum band, and the parade as well. And it is an honor and show that we are also have the same capacity with other nations internationally.
Okay, so how long did the training take, and who created concept for the Indonesian National Army Parade to be performed on Paris?
Well, the drills that we had began in June, and the event itself. By early July, on the 6th, we sent our contingent and the drum bands. And since the first day of arrival, they observed, they did some drills, also the rehearsal until the final rehearsals. And roughly about a month, over a month. And we had prior experience participating in India National Day as well, where we sent also a contingent of troops for parade and defile, as well as the drum band and marching band. And we used that experience to help develop the configurations, because actually the invitation was only for the parade and defile, but we also prepare our cultural performances because we want to use the momentum, the opportunity alongside the break that we have during the rehearsals. And the configuration was actually designated by our trainers from the services, from the Army, the Navy, and the Air Force, especially for the drum band. We have the military academy instructor as well as from the Armed Forces Academy. And since the drum band also consists of the Naval Academy cadets, Air Force Academy cadets, and a small element from the Police Academy. And for the troops itself, we have the yell yell to show the fighting spirit of our troops, and of course, it boosts the morale of our soldiers, because when we want to perform, it actually elevates the motivation and also the high spirit. So once they perform, they will put their best, and also this will make everyone proud, especially Indonesia as a nation, as a country.
Okay, so with many performances from Indonesian National Army, what makes the France people impress the most? Is it like, since there are many performances, I've seen like people from the cadets from Indonesia teaching the Pacu Jalur dance to the people of France, and what is the most memorable one?
I think most of what we demonstrated while we were in Paris in the celebration of the Bastille Day impressed the French people and the local, as well as the visitor who visited the city. So everything, especially cultural aspect, military aspect, because when we perform during the parade and defile, we have a slightly different style of marching. It's very disciplined, and probably because of different culture, the Asian culture. So it's a bit rigid, but it was very organized, very well organized, and very neat compared to the French military. Probably they tend to march in a softer way compared to us. We try to show our rigid movement, but it's a very well organized coordination. And of course, with the drum band that we had, with the cultural elements, we brought the tiger, the shark, also the eagle for the drum bands, and also traditional part that we put in the element of uniforms that were worn by the cadets. It attracted the French people. And at the same time, you're right. You mentioned about Pacu Jalur because it's currently viral, part of the aura farming. So we try to use the momentum to also, socialize and introduce this kind of traditional part of Indonesia. And not only the cadets, but also the soldiers that we send there, they join and they ask the local, the French armies, French military personnel, male and female, to also join. And because it's going far anywhere, not only in Indonesia or football players internationally. So we want to use the momentum to promote Indonesia, and at the same time, along the breaks that we had during the rehearsal and drills in Paris, we also try to perform our traditional dances. We brought all the equipment for Reok Ponorogo and also for Kachak with all the elements, representing diversity. And also we demonstrated, a dance from Papua. So we want to show that Indonesia is comprising, is very diverse with a variety of culture, ethnics, but we understand that, based on our key principle, unity in diversity. So we want to show to the French people and also the international audience that were present in Paris during the Bastille Day, even though we are coming from a different background, but we are united as a nation, as a country, and that has become our fundamental identity as what we have demonstrated and implemented for many, many years since our independence.
Okay, you've mentioned Papua before, so I would like to ask you. Tni'S also working together with Indonesian Health Ministry to build 14 hospitals in conflicted areas in Papua. And how is the progress going?
The progress is still ongoing. A couple of days ago, Minister of Defense with the Minister of Health as well as the Chief of Supervisory Board on Medicine and Food, they actually concluded the memory of agreement between these three institutions. Our commitment is try to support the transformation program in health sector as well as in medicine sector. So it's part of the commitment of the Ministry of Defense to support the national program and vision by President Prabowo. And what we are doing actually is not taking over the lead or the role which belong to those two different institutions, but what we offer is actually to provide assistance in constructing a medical facility, hospitals, especially in remote area, in conflicted area where security needs more protection, and we try to provide security. And at the same time, we also have combat engineer units. We can operate in a hostile area, hostile environment, in conflicted zone. So we also offer this kind of capacity and capability to help construct the new hospitals in that conflicted zone. And at the same time, we also have the Republic of Indonesia Defense University, where we educate cadets to become also medical doctors. So we offer this kind of human resources to help also, being assigned in the conflict zone. So because they have the foundation as a cadet, they have been indoctrinated and educated. They have part of their education as a military. So that won't be a problem for them to being assigned there, because we know the risk, working as a medical workers there, being a doctor, being a nurse. Some of them actually got kidnapped and became casualties. So having our own resources will help supplement the effort conducted by the Ministry of Health And for the medicine, we also have the military, pharmacy facility, so we can supplement the ongoing process of producing medicine. So we can produce together with a high quality, with a cheap price as well, to help support the government program, and it's going to be distributed through the to the shop organized under the ministry, Koperasi Merah Putih, to help provide assistance to the public. So that's the intention. We're not taking over, but we are supporting the national program, especially transformation in the medical and also medicine sector, health sector.
Okay, speaking of protection, not only the physical protection is needed, not just health, but also in this modern era is cyber protection. So my next question, and maybe the final question for today, is Indonesian National Army developing many cooperations with other countries as well, and recently with Singapore in cyber defense. And what do Indonesian National Army need to learn from Singapore, and why does we need to learn from Singapore, especially for the cyber defense?
A few days ago, actually, the Chief of Defense Forces from Singapore Armed Forces went to Indonesia, and also there was a courtesy call visit to see Minister of Defense Shafri Samsudin. One of the points that were discussed was actually about elevating cyber cooperations, because we know Singapore recently established its digital and intelligence service, which actually, in summary, the supervision of cybersecurity and cyber defense in Singapore, and also being a hub, and also rely on digital and commerce sectors that have been experiencing a number of issues. And that's one of the reasons why they established a new services in the military in charge of cyber. And now we think that it will be beneficial to learn from their experience, because they have established as a new service. And at the moment, we have the cyber capacity, but what we have is actually limited to individual services, the TNI headquarters, and also the Ministry of Defense. So we see that through this partnership, we can exchange knowledge and experience. And of course, Singapore is one of the members in ASEAN, Southeast Asian nation. So it's been our neighbors, it's been our bilateral partners for years. And a number of occasions when we conducted, military multilateral program as well, Singapore also took part. So it's a fair reason to also establish this kind of cooperation with Singapore, being a pioneer of a new service in digital, in cyber. So we want to learn. And at the same time, we also believe that Singapore, being a good neighbor of us, implementing what President Prabowo envisioned, good neighbor policy, a good bilateral partnership and relations can also supplement for us, especially in the context of defense diplomacy and military diplomacy. And cyber cooperation in this case can also strengthen our defense diplomacy and military diplomacy program as part of the government program in multiplying and also replicating international partnership with various international partners, including Singapore.
Okay, thank you so much for your time, Brigadier.
My pleasure.
Frega, Wenas, for your answer and amazing insights of Indonesian military. So, Voice listener, thank you so much for accompanying me in this special interview with the theme of Tni'S achievements in many sectors. And especially as we heard from Pa Frega that Indonesian armed military forces still keeps growing in protecting the nation, as well as expanding their knowledge and well known to the world as well. And thank you so much, for listener, for your time in this special interview of VOI Talk, and I'll see you in another episode. Stay tuned with us always in Voice of Indonesia, from Indonesia to the world.
Voice of Indonesia. VOI.